good morning. Just a quickie this morning because I really didn't talk about the melody of Mozart's K448 yesterday. This is kind of important. And Mozart's a genius with melody. Here's why. We are bombarded with music today, right? It's everywhere. You listen here and there. It's on the commercials. But hundreds of years ago when Mozart was like very little music. And so he was able to craft. He was a great humanitarian. He had a wonderful heart. Mozart's a delightful person inside. And he was gifted and talented and supported from his talent from very young and just went the distance with it. It also got him eliminated too. I call it the Mozart effect. When Salieri, people, see a talent like Mozart, they're like, oh my God, he makes me look bad. Let's get rid of him. And he died very young. But let's look at what he does with the melody. So we have that, remember we do dum, 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 bum, 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 right? So when we hear that dum, 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 we think that's strength. We think that's power. We think that's smart, right? Dum, 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 da, 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 dum. Mozart does it differently. He plays a joke with your expectations. Dum, 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 dum. That's funny. People would find that Mozart knew physiology too. Music is a language. He used that language very much so. There are many, many examples, and we'll do a whole session on how his melodies put joy in people's hearts. That's one way he does it. Listen, dum, 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 bum. It was supposed to go down. It didn't go down. Bum, dum. There it is. Dum, 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 bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum. So that's part of the joke. So he repeats the joke. Bum, bum, 3, 5. So music, the scale 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And what we're used to, the major scale, 1, 3, 5, 1. Most people know that. That's basic theory, right? So he does 1, 5, bum, bum, bum. Very strong. Da, la, 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 la. Here comes the bride. Strong. Nothing's more committed than that. Da, dum, da, dum, da, dun, da, da, dun, da, da, dun, da. Right. So 1, dum, 3, 5. Joke. And so the physiology says, what was that? Mozart knew how to talk to people's physiology. Tremendous humanitarian. Also right up there with Bach on the greatest genius lists. Right up there. Every time, every list. Bach and Mozart, usually in the top 5. So what is that? And what are we missing? Most people hear, I don't understand Mozart. It took me a long time to understand him too, until I was, in a position of huge turmoil in my own life, and I found relief only in Mozart and Bach. In fact, I only listened to them for about a year and so. Huge, savage upheaval and turmoil in my life and my transition from Canada to the States. There's a story there. It will come out one day. So 1, 5, 3, 5. Okay. Now what? 5, 6, 7, 1. Whoop. Dum, dum, dum. So let's do it on the octave. And 3, 5. There it is again. You see how he plays with that? So 1, 5, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. So immediately you're like, it's like a good comedian. He picks you up and he keeps you laughing. And that's how this piece hijacks the epilepsy in part as well. And that our physiology, our subconscious processes, we've evolved to have all of this outside executive anxiety driven, toxic, anxiety driven activity, and we like, oh well, I don't like Mozart. I don't like classical music. Well, the rest of your body does. And it's healthy to like that language of music. Remember, speaking is a very tiny part, maybe not even the size of a circle quarter in your brain. It's a small area that has us speak. It's a very limited part, all chopped and cracked up. La 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 ba da bum bum ba bum bum ba bum bum. It's sound, sustained, organized resonance that speaks to most of the majority of the brain. Like a good 70% of the body, of the brain is responding to that. We're only like less than 2%. What do you want? What's better for your brain? I'll tell you, the language of music is a powerful, and we don't understand it because we're so wrapped up in this executive thing that is surrounded by industrialization and plastic and words. Very limited part of the brain. So we want to enable all these other networks. No words there, and yet it enables a network to make us look at something. Wow, let me figure this one out. This is really challenging. It empowers you. It structures you. It scaffolds your cognition to be able to ride it. So that's where I'm going to leave you today. We'll get back to a whole session on Mozart's melodies, maybe take his last opera, Magic Flute. Fascinating. That's the structure of it. Then Mozart wrote notes in between for a singer who didn't know how to make up stuff. I make up a lot of improvisational Mozart. It's a wonderful thing. We'll look at that. He wrote this. Of music, the language of Mozart's heart and spirit and humanitarianism and love for common people, for everyone. He loved everyone. And he wrote these tunes that talked to them and made them smile because it played with their expectations. It lovingly played with their expectations. That's it for today. I'm off to do a job myself. I'm playing a funeral this morning, and Chopin and Rachmaninoff and Elgar and other things. So I've got a few musical moments ahead of me this morning. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.